Sup y'all, it's Luke and today I'm gonna take you through my salary and expenses as a 22-year-old software engineer living here in Helsinki, Finland. You know, it's been a minute since we did one of these videos and a lot has changed during that time, so I thought it's only right that we make an updated one and see how the journey is going so far. And I think this is gonna be a cool switch up to all the US salaries that you're used to seeing, you know, people making 300, 400k, because here in Europe it's a lot different to that. But anyways, without further ado, let's get straight to it. So I work as a full stack engineer and I've been in software engineering for a little over 2 years at this point. I don't have a CS degree, but technically I'm still a student in university, I just haven't graduated yet. And with those stats, my salary is 52,200 euros per year or 4,350 euros per month, which seems pretty low compared to all the US salaries, and I could be making around like 60k if I joined a bigger company. But to be completely honest with you, I'm pretty happy at my current position, I'm learning a lot and my team is great, so I'm not looking to jump ship for a few bands. Now on top of my salary, I also got equity in the company, which we can count as zero because the company is private. I mean, yeah, we can look at the company's valuation and do some mental gymnastics in order to get an idea of how much the equity is worth. But I don't want to end up in a situation where I'm thinking to myself that, hey, I got this much on the side coming in from the equity, so I can spend that extra amount on something else. But technically speaking, and for the video's sake, it's supposed to be around 400 euros per month. There's some other benefits as well for food, fitness and things of this nature, which all add up to around 100 euros per month. And that's gonna bring my total compensation from my software engineering job to 4,850 euros per month, which for a person my age in Finland is incredible and I'm super blessed. Now let's take a closer look on how I spend all my money. Of course, the biggest one is gonna be taxes, which in Finland are crazy high because we have free school, free healthcare and all that stuff. And with my earnings, I pay around 16,200 euros a year on taxes, so around 33%. So that number of 16,200 isn't actually that bad in the grand scheme of things. But as you start earning anywhere close to 100,000, then you're basically paying 50% tax. And past a certain point, you're paying over 50% tax, which in my opinion is kind of ridiculous, to be honest. And as you see later on the video, once we get to the YouTube stuff, that 100,000 mark isn't actually that far away. And I know many senior devs who earn that much in Finland. So after I pay my taxes like a good boy, I'm left with pretty much bang on 36,000 or 3,000 euros per month to spend on whatever I want to. And the first thing I want to spend my money on is rent, because I don't want to go homeless. I live in this pretty nice apartment that's like right in center of everything, and it costs 1,950 euros. I don't pay that amount myself because I have a roommate. So my share of the rent is only 1,124 euros. And if you wonder why I pay more, it's because I have a much bigger room that I needed for my setup. Now, I know the rent seems high, and it is, but there's a few things to consider here. First of all, because I work remotely full time, I can write off my entire room as a work room. And also because I shoot YouTube videos all over the house, I can write off portions of each room. So after that's all said and done, I'm left to pay more like 1,050 euros every single month. Now, a second thing to consider is that because I live in the center of everything, I don't need a car, so that's at least a few $100 saved every single month. And lastly, I live right next to every single store, gym, whatever I may need. I'm saving at least 20 hours every single month on commute, which based on my hourly rate adds up to quite a bit every single month. And I mean, of course, the view as well, like the amount of creativity that this view unlocks me is well worth the difference between this place and renting some normal studio apartment for 800 euros a month, which is on the cheaper side here. So yes, the rent seems high at first, but when you take into consideration all these factors, I actually think it's worth it, or maybe I'm just coping and trying to justify my poor financial decisions. Then after rent, my biggest expense is food. Now, if you've been watching my videos, you know I like my organic foods and steak and stuff like this, so my food bill is actually pretty high. It comes in around 500 to 550 euros a month, which for a single person is a lot, I know, but honestly on my current diet I feel so good that I think it's well worth it. I have this thing where I'd rather hurt my pockets than my gut, because it's way easier for me to make more money than it is for me to fix some health issues that may come up. Now, this doesn't mean I never eat out, but when I do, I try to go for something like a Pokeball versus McDonald's. And speaking of health and fitness, my gym costs 80 euros per month, which is crazy high. I didn't actually even realize that until I started making this video, but it covers every single one of their gyms in the Helsinki area. So if I ever want to work out at a different gym, I can just go there and it's gonna be fine. And one of their gym is literally right downstairs from my apartment, so it's just way too convenient for me. Alright, moving on, we got utilities, so water, electricity and Ethernet. And here we go right down the middle with my roommate, so I pay around 59 euros and 95 cents every single month. When it comes to subscription services, I don't have basically any in my name because I'm able to business expense a lot of things that I may need for my business. But I do pay for Spotify from my own pocket, which comes to around 12 euros per month, and here's a full list of all the subscription services I use. And after that's all said and done, I'm left with 1,200 euros, subtract 150 euros for random stuff like clothes, give me this haircut and whatever else it may be. And at the end of the day, I'm left with 1,050 euros to do whatever I want to. For the past couple of years, I've put almost all of it into crypto, which actually has turned out to be quite a decent decision so far. Now, we're gonna have to see if I can exit the markets alive or not, and my investment portfolio is gonna deserve a video of its own. But whether we make it to the promised land or fuck it all up, I'm gonna tell you straight up, so subscribe to the channel if you wanna see what happens. And that's gonna conclude my personal salary and expenses side of things. Next, I wanna take you through my YouTube stuff, just to motivate you to start your own thing on the side as well. And I think especially developers should try something on the side that has no glass ceiling, because at the end of the day, we're builders and builders are meant to build cool stuff. And trust me, I know it's hard to balance a 9 to 5 or your school with a side hustle, and I want to make a whole separate video on how I balance my work and my YouTube stuff, but something that has helped me a lot is this app called Akiflow, which is like an all-in-one time/task management tool. And I like Akiflow because when you're trying to balance your main work and your side hustle, time management is key, because obviously we all have 24 hours in a day. And for this, Akiflow is literally perfect. It allows me to bring tasks from other applications into this one platform, which makes task management super easy, as I'm able to keep track of everything in this one place. Now, you can integrate Akiflow with pretty much any other productivity app you may be using, whether that's Gmail, Google Calendar, Notion, Slack, and so on. And all the tasks you bring from those other applications will show up here on your inbox. Of course, you can create your own tasks as well, use the add new task button, or what I like to do is use the command line, as it speeds things up a lot, and as a developer, command lines just hit different. They're actually rolling out their new AI feature that's gonna automatically assign your tasks into certain projects, which is gonna make everything organized and help keep track of everything. With Akiflow, I'm also able to plan out my days into what I like to call deep work blocks. So I have my calendar right here and I can create these work blocks. And with this lock button, I can choose whether this is a deep work block so that no one can book a meeting with me here, or a regular work block where I'm available for meetings, and this is gonna show up in my calendar as well. And after I created these work blocks, I can just drag and drop my tasks from my inbox into these work blocks, so I know exactly what I need to do in each work block. And another feature I use a lot from Akiflow is the availability sharing feature. So as a software engineer and a content creator, I'm being dragged into meetings constantly, and with the availability sharing feature, I'm able to just select all the times that I'm available for meetings, and Akiflow will generate this link for me. Now, when I share this link to a colleague or a sponsor that wants to meet up with me, and they click on the link, then this nice looking UI opens and they can just select whatever time works the best for them. This is just a brief overview of what Akiflow is capable of, and they're constantly rolling out new features. If you have any questions about Akiflow, they offer a free one-on-one onboarding call for all new users, so definitely take use of that. And because many of you are CS students, the people at Akiflow have given a 60% discount for all students by selecting student when you're signing up and using the code 60students 1 year. And honestly, a huge shout out to Akiflow for sponsoring the video and being the first long-term partner here on the channel. But yeah, let's get to the YouTube stuff now. And this is not supposed to be a flex at all. I just want to show you what's possible when you start doing your own thing, because for the past couple of months I've earned more from YouTube than from my day job, which is crazy for me to think, because I've only been doing this for a year and I'm not out here selling some garbage Python course to you. Now, from my YouTube ad revenue, which you get from those annoying ads that you have to watch before every video, I've consistently earned around $450 per month, which is great, but most of the money comes from sponsorship deals. Now, I can't tell you exactly what I've charged for any given sponsorships, because these companies don't usually want these numbers leaked. But for your typical 60 to 90 second integration, the conversation really even starts at $2,000. Now, this doesn't mean that I accept all sponsorship deals over $2,000, because I only promote stuff that I actually truly believe in. So I'm super proud of every single company that I've partnered up so far, and I think the products are awesome. Now, often these deals also include revenue share, and if the company wants more screen time or wants me to do a short form video for them, then this number can easily 2 to 3x. And that starts to be some serious money at that point. And it's not like, oh, Luke thinks he's worth such and such amount. Like, no, the marketplace decides how much influencers are worth. And it's the same as with everything in life. Like, if the marketplace is willing to give you X amount, then you should definitely ask for that amount or even more, depending what you bring to the table. I mean, it's the exact same thing when you're negotiating your salary for a job. But for the past couple of months, on average, I've made 5,070 euros from this internet thing, which is insane. Like, literally more than my day job. Now, of course, these have also been the best months for my YouTube channel, but if you take the average for the whole year, then it's still like 2,000 euros a month. So So this number will swing up and down a lot based on how many videos I make, how many views the videos get, and if I take a sponsor on the video or not. Now when it comes to the expenses of the business side of things, I have a lot of them. For example, the subscription services mentioned previously. Also at this point I've spent well over 10,000 euros on camera gear alone. So that's gonna be my camera, lenses, drone, microphone, tripods, all this stuff. It costs a lot of money. And of course these are one-off purchases, but every single month there's something I need to buy which ends up costing me a lot of money. And even right now I still have so many things I need to buy in order to make the videos better and stuff I need for making new videos. So it's not like I make this extra money from YouTube to buy bottle service or fancy watches. For now I'm just going all in on making the videos better because I love this stuff and I want to see how far I can take it. Matter of fact, I don't pull basically any money from the business account to my personal accounts for spending. Also, I have a manager that takes 10% of every partnership deal that she negotiates for me. But it's been well worth it because she brings much more to the table and I can just focus on making videos. So that's my YouTube income, and now let's total everything up together. So from my software engineering job, I make 4,850 euros every single month, and from the YouTube side of things, I make 5,070 euros a month. And that's gonna bring my monthly income to 9,920 euros every single month. Of course, minus the monthly expenses, but I still can't believe I'm even saying that number out loud. Like when I was working in a grocery store or working construction for minimum wage, the goal of making 10k per month felt so unrealistic, and now after 3 years, we're finally there. Like it's possible, and I want you to know that it's possible for you too. I'm literally just a regular dude. But yeah, that's pretty much all for my salary and expenses. Hope you got some inspiration to start your own thing or some extra motivation to keep going on your journey. Like, you got this. But with that said, thank you so much for watching all the way to the end, and I'll see you in the next one.